Namaskaram, Masters. Welcome to day 10 of Aatma, Deepo, Bhava. Be a light onto yourself. I hope everyone had a fantastic meditation session. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our Grand Master Prabodh Garu for putting together this amazing event. We are so grateful for his guidance and support. And to the leadership team, thank you so much for all the hard work you put into making this happen. And all of you here with us today, your presence means a lot to us. Dear friends, it is my great honor to introduce Master Smitha Hemadri, a nature cure practitioner and educator with over 9 years of experience in helping people heal naturally. Master Smitha is a true inspiration and a true master of her craft, using a holistic and intuitive approach to help people in the areas of nutrition, social relationships, physical fitness, and spirituality. Her rich experience in dealing with various health conditions and her commitment to environmental consciousness clearly shows her dedication to helping others. As a graduate of the Purple Flower Life Mastery Academy in California, Master Smitha brings with her a wealth of knowledge and deep understanding of spirituality. She is committed to realizing her truth. Sorry. She is committed to realizing her true self and serving as many people as possible in her journey to share her wisdom. In the words of the great leader Mahatma Gandhi, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service of others. Master Smitha embodies this philosophy, dedicating herself to helping others heal and find balance in their life. So let us welcome Master Smitha Hemadri with open hearts and minds, eager to learn her wealth of knowledge on the topic levels of consciousness. Please, Master Smitha Hemadri, stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Mani. It has been a wonderful experience hearing about myself from you. Thank you so much. It was very well put. Thank you so much. So, firstly, I would like to thank Prabodh Master for giving me this opportunity to share whatever blessings I've received from the universe, and I have really gained a lot by attending his meditations for the last 1 year. And I should say there has been a deep transformation in the last 1 year that has not happened in the last many, many years that I've been spiritual. So with that, I would like to take this opportunity and then take his permission to connect to his energies before starting this particular class. Thank you so much, Master, for being with us. So today we will be talking about this topic called levels of consciousness, levels of higher consciousness. So what is this word called consciousness, right, friends? So today, this consciousness is something like an awareness. So different levels of awareness. That's absolutely unique to everybody who tries to interpret the subject. So let's say if I talk about this subject, I might interpret this and then come to you with a different level of understanding of the subject. Somebody else might come to you and then talk about it a little differently. So nevertheless, what I share here is purely my understanding of this particular subject. Of course, I would have definitely referred to books and other things, but still it is because whatever I read resonated with what I believed in, and hence those books came to me. There are so many books written on levels of consciousness, but why didn't I really read those books? Because I was vibrating at a certain frequency, and that frequency brought to me certain books or certain kind of knowledge in front of me, and it resonated with me, and hence that becomes my understanding. And then when I start practicing it, it becomes my own wisdom, right? So the physical universe with its space, its time, objects, people, planets, they are all energies. Everything is nothing but energy. And then this non-physical universe. So the physical is the something that you can touch, and non-physical can be subtle aspects like thought, emotion, are also various forms of energies. Hence, we understand that there is one energy that manifests in both the physical and the non-physical in various shapes, forms, qualities, radiations, and densities. So, like how water can be in the form of solid ice, liquid water, and gaseous steam, it is just the same energy that is manifesting itself in different qualities and forms. So today we will restrict this discussion to only human beings and not other living beings and non-living beings of in terms of consciousness. So we will be discussing about how the human beings evolved in terms of consciousness. Okay, so this consciousness within us makes us have this unique mental perception, emotion, vibration. And what does that lead us to? It leads us to using different words. It helps us display different actions, behaviors. It exposes us to attracting different surroundings, environments, places, objects, and it can also display different qualities of moods, intentions. My motivations can be different. My choices of moving up the spiritual path may be different. So it is a different, unique way of perceiving life's truths, life's events, whatever you may call it. So each of us are on different levels, making the view of life with a unique level of awareness. So it's you in one single word you can call this awareness. But what I'm trying to tell is it just makes us very unique on this path, and you can't compare yourself to anybody else. So that is what is called consciousness. So initially what we start with an unconscious state with hardly any awareness as to what we are, that I am a soul and all of those things. And as we progress into higher levels of consciousness, which is basically, there is a method to this madness, they say, right? So something like that. So there is a very beautiful and methodical and flawless and mysterious process in which we go through this evolution of going from non-consciousness or unconscious state to a state of consciousness. So which means the level of awareness of um, uh, not even having any awareness that I am a soul, what is happening around me, how, the way I look at things, I'm basically growing to a full kind of awareness like people like Prabodh Master, right? So let us explore all the levels, six levels of consciousness as explained by this lady named Mary O'Malley in one of the articles that has been published in Spiritual India magazine. I was attracted to that article, and then basically I did my own research on that, but on her teachings through other sources as well. But then it started from her. So, what are these six levels of consciousness? So, the six levels of consciousness. So, I'm going to paste those six levels of consciousness to you on the chat, just so that you can continue to refer to it as I speak through it. Okay, you can refer to it on the chat. So, the first level of consciousness is called life is happening to you. So here what do we feel? We feel like I am a victim of life. When you live in the belief that life is happening to you, you often view it as a possible threat. Life seems very uncertain, very unpredictable. You wake up one morning and your heart feels very light and happy, and the next day you're very sad and restless. Bosses are like, sometimes they fire you, and then you have diseases someday, and then some days you might have rejections in your life, you might feel disrespected in your life. So every day there is some ups and downs that are happening, and you are in fear of something or the other, and you are always in fear of death, fear of pains, suffering. anxiety, and it always keeps you very unsettled and restless, like a victim. Like you don't have any control over life. Life is something like external to you, like throwing bombs at you, and then you are this person who's just sort of dodging those bombs. So one is not open to life at all. One is always resisting, refusing, restless, and then defending everything. It is like a victim consciousness. So this is called first level of consciousness. It's where life is happening to you. You are separate, life is separate. So you are in this state of consciousness. So if you feel that you are feeling all of these things that I'm explaining to you, you are in that level of consciousness. So that awareness that I'm in this level of consciousness itself, and then after that you bringing swadhyaya into your life, and then meditating will bring energy, and that energy will help you. That energy is going to help you understand what is there in the books, and then help you get to the next level of consciousness where you don't feel that life is actually happening to you and you feel like a victim. Okay, so there is no fear. So in the second level of consciousness, what happens? Life happens by you. So over a period of being very restless and feeling like a victim, one moves on to the next level where he feels that he has all the power to control over life. He has a sense of power. When he did not have the power in the first level of consciousness, he was frustrated and things were sort of getting piled up. And now in this level, he's going to pour. He's going to pour in the form of men controlling women, then women controlling other women, religious leaders controlling the people, countries controlling countries. Of course, there are people behind it. So in essence, we feel that when I control other people, it is as if that life is not controlling me, but I am controlling life. So we try to control our thoughts, our words, our actions, and we feel very powerful, and we convince ourselves that we are not the victim anymore. Right? For example, yesterday I was having a client call, and then she was telling me that um, in the past she used to feel that when children are bullying her and all of those things, she felt like a victim. But then later on in her own life, she felt that studies are something that can empower her, and she's not going to feel so helpless. So she went on to make studies more like a weapon. She did not mingle with anybody. She continued to study, and she later on felt that she got a lot more respect because she was studying, right? So because she studied and then she got a first rank and all of those things. So this is also one sort of power. We feel that I'm not a victim anymore. People cannot be bullying me anymore, but I will do something more and then teach life a lesson. I will make myself more powerful. So of course, many of us pass through these kinds of phases. So I'm sure it might sound familiar to you. So what does he feel? He feels for anything and happening. So for anything that happens in his life, he has to work his way to make it happen. So if anything bad happened, he did not put enough focus to make it happen, to go his way. So everything he has to control. If something he's not controlling, it means that I did not work towards my progress. That is why it failed. This is where he begins to believe that he can only create his own reality based on whatever he desires. So so here what happens? He definitely is using his skills of being a creator, but he's cut off from the divine and the flow of life. So the world is now being created from an egotistic point of view. So he's feeling because he comes with this point of view that I can create my own reality. But where does it come from? From the feeling of power, from the feeling of fear, from the feeling of I don't like my current life the way it is. I'm going to change it. Because whatever I change, whatever I pick as my reality, that I like, what I have to now today, I don't like. So so we see things as what we are and not as what they are supposed to be. So we continue to experiment in this state for a very long time until we see that life is bigger than what we think it is. and we can't seem to control all aspects of it. So, for example, I like to give this example. So, let's say people do a lot of manifestations. So, if you've heard of people doing manifestations, what they do, they say, let's say there's a poor person, and then he does a lot of manifestations, and then for a big bungalow, let's say real estate property and all of those things. So they take an example of a bungalow. He manifests a bungalow, but the thing is, what about assuming, let's he got the bungalow also, because he used all his creation and the process of manifestation and all that, he got a bungalow. Now, while thinking about the bungalow, he didn't think about, because the ego is like that, right? We are in we are in a level of consciousness where we can only perceive a few things. We can't perceive everything together, right? So in some conversation, somebody was saying that they were talking to an enlightened master, and they were asking if the enlightened master can hear, he can read the minds of somebody. So the enlightened master said, I can at once be able to hear or read the minds of everybody. It doesn't say everybody on earth, everybody here, everybody there. It just says everybody. So imagine the kind of consciousness that person has, because it's all a flood of information. It's all there coming together, and they're able to read it together, right? When we have to read something, we have to read one book, just one book. We can't read a book. We can't do driving also together, right? That is the kind of consciousness we have. But they are like that. So with that level of consciousness that we have, with the level 2 consciousness, when we go ahead and do manifestations, what happens? We are thinking only about the bungalow. And then once we get the bungalow, we have not thought about, okay, do I have the finances to manage the bungalow? I didn't manifest finances together. Do I have maids to manage the bungalow? Can I sweep and mop the bungalow completely together, or rather only me? Or do I have the furniture for the bungalow? Do I have so many people to live in the bungalow? Right? So many things that comes attached to that particular state of being. So we can't really manifest all that, because we are not able to think about 10 steps that happens beyond the step that we've actually manifested. After that, somebody who's very good at manifesting maybe continuing to keep using manifesting again and again and again and again. They keep, okay, I don't have money, let me manifest money. I don't have this, let me manifest. So that is the kind of awareness we have. So we are so bogged up in controlling life that we are actually forgetting to live life the way it is supposed to be. The beauty of life is sort of so totally lost. So typically manifestation of whatever we want is more like running away from whatever life has to offer to us, which is much more beautiful than what we think we want in life. So it is more a constricted opinion of thing, and then we are running away from everything else. So it is more about a running away from likes and dislikes and things like that. So the third level of consciousness is life happens in you. So by the time we come here, we realize that everything cannot be controlled. And after all, right, at one point, let's say you feel that, oh my God, I'm getting too bogged down in manifesting, controlling. And now I'm going to just let it go. I'm tired. So here what happens? They are like, they cannot control everything. And after all that striving to get that joy and happiness, we have still not found the joy and happiness. We are getting so tired. So what we do, we are now in listening mode. We're just observing. We are open. Okay, let's see what happens. And more accepting of what life has to offer to us. And we are watching our thoughts. Because in manifestation, we were so used to controlling and thought process. So we are now watching the same thoughts. And the stories that we are saying about what is coming true. Okay, if I think like this, what is coming true? If I think like that, is that coming true? So here we realize that experiences are not making us suffer, but it is my thoughts and interpretations of that thoughts that are making me suffer. So we are now in shock, and surprised at the same state when we see how our thoughts are affecting our reality and experiences, and we begin to go inwards for answers. So now spirituality is sort of dawning inside us, right? In you might have seen that emotional spectrum, right? So in the first level of, in the bottommost level of emotional spectrum, where we have fear, anger, anxiety, and all of those things, that happens about 5 to 10 emotions happen in the first two level of consciousness. After that, when sort of we are going into that neutral state and ascending into higher forms of consciousness, this is the first level of consciousness, or the third level of, in all these six, this is the first level of consciousness where we are slowly beginning to travel inwards for things. Okay, we are now out of the duality mode. We are slowly starting to get into the path of oneness. Okay, so this is the third level of consciousness where we understand that our thoughts are actually affecting our reality. Now what happens? The fourth level of consciousness happens. In the fourth level of consciousness, life is happening for you. It is happening for you. So after all the watching and observing in level 3, you have done a lot of introspection. Okay, here now you conclude in level 4 that, wow, actually this entire creation is happening just for me. Life is not controlling me. I don't have to control life. My thoughts are actually creating a reality for me that is helping me face experiences so that I can learn from them and grow. You see life as a beautiful, magical happening, and you are filled with gratitude. It's like always you're in gratitude now because, wow, this is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. You feel that there is some external life. That external life is very generous with you. So sometimes you can also think that, oh, there is this big cosmos and I'm this small speck, and this universe is so generous that it is giving me all these beautiful things in my life. I'm getting all these beautiful things. So life is not just a random series of events, it's a highly intelligent unfolding that is putting you in exactly the situation that you need to be in order to see and grow from it and keep moving towards oneness. So no matter what is happening in your life, you finally understand that life knows what it is doing, and you start to trust this intelligent form that is called life. Here you also learn to surrender to life. In level 2, what you did, you were trying to control and manifest whatever you want in life. But in level 4, you are learning to surrender, and you believe that whatever is coming to me is for my best, and I don't have to control it because there is an intelligent life. That intelligent life is very generous. It is giving me everything that I want for my growth. So I don't have to really control anything because everything that happens to me is for my best. So you respond to life's events rather than react to them. There is no fear anymore. You are no longer bound by your limited beliefs and thought processes, but a free flowing aliveness and openness is there now inside you. So you start living in the moment. You start to know that only the present moment is all that matters in my whole life, and you're starting to rather experience that magic of that present moment in the now, in the present, in the now, right? And we are majorly spiritual because we are now, as many people are more thinking that life is more God. There is maybe Jesus, Allah, or Krishna, or something like that. There is some form God. We are majorly spiritual. We tend to be here for many lives until we get to living in the present, learning to appreciate the joy, becoming free flowing like a river. So it is all, in many of these states of consciousness, we are actually there for many lives, because there is so many aspects of life where we have to get ourselves predominantly to this level 4 or predominantly to level 2, level 1, all of that. Even before level 1, we are actually in level 0 and in lower levels where we may be animals, where we have absolutely no thought at all. So when we come to the fifth level of consciousness, we believe that life is happening through us or through you. So in the fourth level, we were in awe of life. We were very grateful for everything in life. And we knew that life was made for our well-being, our growth, and you trusted life, whether it is experiences, situations, objects, people, their behavior, all the things basically felt like it was made for you, right? Now you become one with that life which was separate from you before. You were the grateful receiver, and now you are the giver and the receiver both. So, which means you feel, oh, I am this life itself. Life was not separate from me. I am only life, right? You now realize that life is not always likable. You may not like what is happening to you, but you can feel that, okay, fine, even if this happens, I can trust life. There is one equanimous state of balance in all ups and downs in your life, because you know that you only planned for it, you are experiencing this life and all the joys of this every single moment, and you flow freely with this life. Everything is seen from the eyes of creativity, and you experience deep gratitude for every. Of course, that gratitude was there in the previous level also, but and then you continue to be in that state of gratitude for everything. You see the entire play of life as what small ounces of creativity that is happening in the universe. Like, for example, let's say you see somebody, beggar, sorry, a robber who's robbing somebody. You feel that, oh, he thinks that is only creative. He thinks that when he robs or when he steals something from somebody, and he's seeing creation in his own reality. So you're just seeing things the way they are, and you think that everybody is creating whatever they want, and you don't have to be judge that it is good or bad. It is just a play of creation. So you are just relaxed all the time, and you're ready to move into level 6, because nothing seems to be bothering you anymore. You're not in judgment anymore. You don't think that this is good, that is bad, that creation is good, this creation is bad, right? You're always thinking that everything is good, right? And then you go to the sixth level of higher consciousness, where you feel life is you. So the more you stop reacting and make a response as your habit, you are slowly moving into level 6 of consciousness, where you believe that life is me. Oh, I planned my life. I'm a soul. I planned my life. I am executing my life. I am only experiencing my life, rather, right? And I'm creating this whole drama for myself. And I believe that all these rocks also I only created. Animals, people, birds, bugs, germs, they are all me only. Because what I see around me is nothing but a reflection of my own reality, of my own thoughts, my own words, my own actions, of my past life. Now everything is now coming to me in front of me, just so that they can teach me a lesson, so that I can continue to grow. So it's nothing but just a play of my own, my own creation. So Eckhart Tolle once said, you are not in the universe, but you are the universe, an intrinsic part of it. Ultimately, you are not a person, but a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself. What an amazing miracle. So this is level 6 of consciousness, my friends. Feel its beauty and go for it as far as you can with awareness. Imagine, see this the slogan that we can utter here. This is the slogan that I can remember, and Sumant also keeps saying this a lot. He says, "All is well, all is well." Right, in the movie they say all is well. So here in level 6 of consciousness, you are basically in all is well state, right? Just imagine, you can close your eyes and imagine this. Imagine sitting on the moon or the sun, just let's say the moon. You're sitting on the moon, and you're watching into this space, and in this space you see a blue and green object, which is earth. And now you know, and it looks very beautiful. And then in a minute, let's say you feel that everything, how did this earth get formed? This earth got formed because of all the stars and their dust coming together, which as an energy, and all of those external forces coming together and then making it one ball. And how did it form? All of this stardust came together. And this stardust eventually brought in water. From the water, there were so many things that basically started in water and then eventually moved on to living on the land. And in the land, there are so many small germs that got created. And those germs came into colonies and they created animals, or rather big animals. And then eventually human beings happened. And then even before human beings, let's say even the rocks happened, plants happened, animals happened, and then we became primate animal, and then like apes, and then we became a human being that was walking on all his fours, and then this human being started walking on his two legs, and then you can see that your great grandfather was born, and then he led his life, and then he gave birth to your grandfather, and that grandfather gave birth to your father, and then your father gave birth to you, right? Basically, you're seeing all of this coming together. So ultimately, and then you were born, you are, let's say, 40 years old, you see all the scenes that happened in the last 40 years, small glimpses of the scenes that happened in the last 40 years. And then you come to this point in Atma Deepo Bhava, you're sitting and listening to this session. So imagine all that stardust came together and made you. You are just that, all that collective consciousness of all the stars, of all your ancestors, of all the different things. So when everything is made up of energy, is what I said, right? So the dust also had energy, and the dust had consciousness of those stars that actually brought, from which the dust came, and that dust had different consciousness. It came into it came and became earth, and that consciousness evolved into different stages, and then it became human beings, animals, whatever consciousnesses happened. Then it became grandfather, father, and all of that. It became you. So how many different levels of consciousness you have basically evolved before you became you. And then in you, also there is evolution that is happening. So this itself is a miracle, isn't it? So this is what Eckhart Tolle says. It's an amazing miracle that from you have become the universe. You are actually the universe because you are not inside something. You only are that thing that came together. You are a collection of this stardust, right? So this is what is called level 6 of consciousness. I may have told it very intellectually in this chapter, but even I'm yet to get there. Even I'm yet to get to a state of Anando Brahma. I may follow all the steps of Gudakesha. I'm doing Gudakesha just so that even I can become like Prabodh Master. I can also experience that Anando Brahma state all the time. I can also feel happy when I laugh. When he's laughing, he's actually laughing. But when he asks us to laugh and we try to laugh, I may not be laughing with my heart all the time because sometimes we are busy in task-oriented work. I may not have any worries in my life. At least at this point, I don't have any challenges or worries in my life. But I'm still not yet at that level of consciousness where I can laugh happily, but maybe if a joke happens in front of me, I might laugh. But then when there's a no joke happening in front of me, I don't know whether I'm going to laugh to that level, right? Of course, now laugh came really. So, in summary, friends, these five things, whether life is happening to you, life is happening by you, in you, for you, through you, life is you. In the to summarize, in the first two levels of consciousness, where life is happening to you and by you, you are about fixing, changing, resisting, controlling your life. So imagine when you are in your family itself, are you trying to control people? Are you trying to resist somebody's comments? Are you fighting somebody? All of these things makes you be predominantly in the first level of consciousness where you're controlling life. When I say life, it means it includes people, it includes objects, it includes situations, it includes experiences. Everything is collectively, let us call it life. And if you're doing all of these fixing, changing, resisting, controlling things, then you are in the first level of consciousness. The person wants something else and not what is coming to him, right? He's in the victim consciousness, and he thinks that I can have whatever I want. So in this both these levels, there's a sense of duality and separation from life. So you feel that I am different, but the person in front of me is different, and then the way he thinks is different, the way I think is different, the way he is very mean to me, I am very different. So all of these, I am good, he's bad, all of these things are happening, which is exactly why you try to separate yourself from this other person. In the next two levels of consciousness, which is level 3 and level 4, life is happening in you and for you, and is all about being curious about life than feeling like resisting or controlling. You feel that life is something more intelligent. I can't control it, I can't resist it. So I just have to bow my head and say, okay, 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 ji huzur kind of thing. So life is now inside you, and you don't try to change anything. You're just experiencing things as they are, as if it was made for you. You are still in duality, but you see that both the aspect of good and bad is necessary for your growth, and you are in acceptance mode. Okay, so and then the last two stages, which is life is happening through me and life is me, or life is happening through you and life is you. You are appreciating the beauty of life, and you are allowing life to flow through you, and you finally come to oneness, that everything was always me and it has always been me, and I just did not know it. Life is me and I am life. Life is you and you are life. So until we fully get to the state of oneness, all aspects of duality within us will have to go through that growth from level 1 to level 6. So let's say when you're dealing with your family members, you might probably still not be, you might still be in level 1, level 2. But then let's say when you're dealing with strangers, outside people, you may have already come to level 4, right? So there is always a level, you're moving from different levels of consciousness in the same day, at different aspects in your life. But as we predominantly move towards level 6, the rate of progress typically improves, because we are now getting habituated to dealing. For example, let's say you are in level 4 and you are typically in surrender mode. And for the first time, when you're applying surrender as a part of your life, you will feel very good about it. And the more you keep practicing surrender in different aspects, because you know that once you surrender, life is going to when we surrender, we say that I'm okay, I like this outcome 1, but I'm okay with outcome 2, outcome 3, outcome 4, and all kinds of outcomes that may come to me, because life is always this generous and kind thing, and it is always going to do best for me. I don't have to worry about anything bad, so I'm okay with all the outcomes. So then what we do, we slowly start realizing that actually, if I let go of this control of outcomes, life actually gives me what I want only. It gave me level 1, it gave me outcome 1 only. So you start noticing these patterns in your life, and you keep applying surrender, surrender, surrender in every aspect of your life. So what happened? You move to level 4 in one aspect of your life someday. by the time you keep practicing on a daily basis, maybe predominantly most of your aspects have now come to level 4 in the same lifetime. So like this, what happens as we keep progressing, certain aspects we move to level 6, certain aspects are still in level 4. But over a period of time, we come to this heightened state of awareness of level 6. So like everyone, we 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 don't trust life initially. Then it certainly feels untrustworthy at that time. Then life breaks our heart, it brings us illness or to our bodies, and we feel that at times it gives us way more than we can handle. Then we begin to trust life, and then we try to observe that this intelligence is making us so open. So we slowly move from first 2 levels, and then we go to the last 4 levels, where we realize that life is smarter than me, and finally to I am this life, who's that smarter life. And it's so beautiful. I don't have to control everything. It's all magically happening around me, and I have this only single one life, which is so unique, and I'm the stardust, living in this small place, just as a soul inside this dense body, and I'm here just to experience earth, earthly living. I'm actually this divine being who can control everything in reality. I am the cosmos and everything. But then I wanted to experience reality, so I've just descended into this dense body. So you realize that I don't have to take life so personally. I just have to enjoy my life all the time. And then be like Prabodh Master, who's always laughing, smiling, and asking others to laugh, who meditates for the enlightenment of other people, who's laughing for the enlightenment of other people, who's teaching meditation again for everybody, right? He doesn't. He all his workshops are also free. Everything is free because he knows that he is only life, he is only energy, and everything. So if he's in that state, everything automatically comes to him. Everything is already automatically happening to him, right? Because there is this automatic manifestation that is happening. He gets the money he needs, he's able to travel, he's able to eat his food, everything is happening, and yet he doesn't take fees, right? Even if he takes, he's returning back those fees. There is so much of, what do you say, trust in this whole process. Why? Because he has reached that state, he understands the play, he understands the magic, and he's teaching others to also learn that magic, understand and get to that magical state, because he's so joyful that he doesn't want to be there alone. He wants to take everybody along with him. So that is the beauty of going to this higher states of consciousness, where we go and think beyond this gross physical body, right, friends? So yeah, this is what is consciousness topic all about, and hopefully we'll all get there someday to the highest state of consciousness. For that, we need to keep doing Gudakesha. At least I have done Gudakesha in the last 1 year, and I have learned so much from our Grandmaster Prabodh Achyutha. And I would love that I continue to keep going, and then finally even I attain that state of enlightenment while I'm on this path. So I hope that all of you also keep being in that state of awareness, and then understand which level of consciousness you are when you are leading your lives, right? And then over time, just get to that state. Right. Thank you, friends. With this, I would like to end my talk and then open up for further questions. Any questions? You can raise your hands, or I think you can unmute yourself and then you can ask. Or if you're able to relate to whatever I said, and you understood which level of consciousness you are and all of those things, also you can share.
Hello, madam.
Hi.
Thank you, Master. Whatever you said is what we are experiencing every day. Going through every stage of life. Whatever you said, we are going through everything of it.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for awakening me.
Thank
We'll
you,
try
Isha.
last level. Let us reach it.
Correct,
Thank
correct, correct. When we are inside practicing Gudakesha, we are actually in last level. But then once we go out of Gudakesha and then go back to our reality, go to the kitchen, children, friends, and this and that, finally we realize, oh my God, we went back to level 1 or level 2. Where we are in fear, our children are not studying, right? All of these things we are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. But once we are able to understand that, oh, this is how I'm treating life, and I just have to change myself. Slowly.
Yeah, sometimes we think we have reached last level, but still we are in first level itself. Sometimes.
Correct. So predominantly we have to get there. Then over time, all the aspects of our life just get there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, it is possible, Manvi, Rashmi, to go through all 6 levels of consciousness in one lifetime, because they say that Angulimala, when Buddha met him, Angulimala, just to give you a background, and he was what do you say, a person who was mercenary. He was like a mercenary who used to kill people, and he would take their finger, and then he would put them as mala. When Buddha met him in that forest, he came to kill Buddha also. And Buddha was not having any fear of life. And then Angulimala was very surprised. Why don't you have? This is the first time I'm meeting somebody who's not scared about their own life when I'm trying to come and kill them. So, what is your secret? The deep vision, the deep looks that he had changed him, and then he said, "You please make me your disciple." And then he became his disciple. Buddha gave him some instructions. He continued to practice those instructions, and over time, in the same life, he went on to become an arihant, a person with a higher consciousness state. So he attained that self-realization in one life itself. In one, the first, that was his first human life, and he became that arihant in the one life itself. So in one life itself, we can actually go to that state, provided we are consciously going towards that path or progress. Many times in Swadhyay, we have understood what to do. We learn what to do through all these discourses that we hear on a daily basis. But then we still go ahead and do what we do as a part of our old habits. So there is where we need to bring in some control, and yeah, we can also get to that state.
Smitha, it was my daughter's question actually.
Okay,
Sorry.
it was her question. Okay.
Yeah.
She is growing to be a very deep person. Very
She
nice.
has exam and she's attending your session.
Very nice, very nice. Anybody else? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes,
Ma'am. Yeah. You have said that means suppose everyone are at suppose not everyone means suppose you are at fourth or third, and some of your habits are pertaining to level 1, maybe fear or something. And if I am more attuned to level 4, then automatically level 1 habits or emotions will be transformed easily to level 4. So is that correct, or because I missed some point between that?
Yes. When I say automatically transformed, it doesn't get automatically transformed. It's like suddenly you'll catch yourself being in fear. In the past, when you're in fear, you will continue to be in fear, and then you are not catching yourself. So when you're predominantly in level 4, you are able to see that, oh my God, I am actually in fear. That is why I'm reacting like this. So and then next time what you do, you slowly plan that when that happen again, you will not be in fear, but you will go into surrender mode. Right? There are so many things that are going to come to you as a karma, where you have to keep applying this level 4 consciousness. That level 1 quota will keep coming to you. And then you have to apply the level 4, and then it will get converted to level 4. right? Automatically, it's not like everything. See, why all this conversion is necessary? Because you have to gain wisdom from application of that knowledge. You can't just take knowledge and become this highly enlightened soul. You have to, the person who's called enlightened, he's enlightened because he has the wisdom, he has experience. He just did not read books and become enlightened. Right? What is the difference between that person who reads books and becomes enlightened? The person who read books, or he got this knowledge, he applied that knowledge. A person doesn't have to read any book, but still has the wisdom to get and apply the knowledge and then go ahead in his life. That is also possible. Like in this case, he may not have read any books. Angulimala may not have read any books. He just took the knowledge that Buddha gave. Buddha became the book. Right? Today, there are no books. There is no Buddha, so there is books. But in that time, there was no books, it was Buddha. He got the knowledge somehow. It can come, knowledge can come in any way. But you have that knowledge is coming to you, that you have to apply in your life. And that application is what is going to make you that person. You can have all the knowledge in the world, and if you don't apply, you will still be the same person. I hope I am.
Yes, very clearly. Thank you. Magnificent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Nidhi. Yes, Nidhi, you can unmute yourself, Nidhi.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am, for showing me this session, ma'am, for giving me the link to this session. Ma'am, just one small question, ma'am. I normally don't pluck flowers and I don't offer them to God. Like, I don't know, for some reason, I can't sit in front of the God and pray. So yesterday, for some reason, my mother-in-law was not there. I had to do puja and all. So the moment I took flowers and I started offering them, tears started flowing. Like, I started saying, sorry, you had to be plucked and this. But ma'am, when we eat food or when we use flowers for many purposes, for perfume, for we use in gulab jal and for many other reasons, ma'am, then that didn't come.
Awareness.
Guilt doesn't come. Why, ma'am? Why?
This is where you have to see. That is where I say different aspects. The awareness will come at different levels, because what are you doing? The knowledge that you have about the flowers not plucking now, which that gulab was not there in the past, but today or yesterday you got that awareness. Slowly you'll start to realize that. See, many people, what happens when about non-vegetarians. So when a person is a non-vegetarian, and then they go from non-vegetarian to a vegetarian because they felt that it was let's say cruelty, because cutting animals and eating is not bad. That is a level of awareness that they moved. Then over time you'll start feeling that actually taking the dairy from the cow itself is also cruelty, because that milk was meant for the baby calf. How can I actually take that and then drink? That is also cruelty only, no? Or then maybe, let's say, not when there is a dog that is in front of you, and then you're not offering food to it and you just walk away. That is also cruelty. So the level of application of that knowledge of ahimsa will sort of descend in, rather you'll start applying that knowledge into different levels. That is only coming into higher forms of consciousness, because there are so many aspects of life where you just have to keep applying that knowledge and then move into different levels. Because when the karmic imprints come in front of you as experiences, how are you, in what level are you dealing with as of now? Maybe you started with level 1, and then as the same patterns are coming in your life, you are now realizing that, oh, I actually have to apply level 4, because in some other aspect I applied level 4, it worked beautifully. Abhi usko I have to apply here also level 4. So nothing is good or bad, Nidhi. Plucking flowers, not plucking flowers is just a belief system that we are going to, either keep it or leave it in future. But you just have to believe that I have to grow. And when the awareness comes, I just have to apply, grow. Don't ever be guilty about your actions. because you are just a instrument, and the creator is experiencing reality through you. You have the free will of response or reaction, that's all. Okay, if somebody doesn't have any questions, we'll wrap up. I would like to thank Prabodh Master for his beautiful energies, that this session came out very satisfactorily. I was very satisfied with the session personally. And I hope that all of you also got the gist and essence of whatever I wanted to convey today. I'm really grateful for his energies again, once again. Thank you so much, Prabodh Master, for all this lovely session. And I thank the Almighty God for his presence always. Thank you so much. Take care, friends. Bye. Be blessed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing.